Hello. Next I'd like to introduce Yawei Liu, PhD. He's a senior advisor on China at the Carter Center and an adjunct professor of political science at Emory University. An expert on U.S.-China relations and Chinese grassroots democracy, he is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations and the Associate Director of the China Research Center in Atlanta. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. So I'll be short. I will first say why we're here, and then I'll say what was able to bring us here, and lastly, I'll thank some of the people. So why we're here, you already heard a lot. So we're here to honor all the Chinese, Koreans, Americans who sacrificed their life, who were killed by the Japanese during the war. We're here to remember in those darkest moments how the Chinese and the Americans worked together to eventually decisively defeat the Japanese aggression. Lastly, we're here not just to look at the past, but also to look to the future. Because in the future, we need to maintain peace. What we have discussed today has reminded us how vital it is to wage peace. And waging peace is one of the missions of my former boss, President Jimmy Carter, who passed away last year. So we're here actually to honor one of his most enduring legacies, which is peace needs to be everywhere in the world. Secondly, the fact that we're here, I want to thank Madame Florence Fong, who gave birth to the Pacific War Memorial Hall. Without that, we're not going to be here. So we could have the event at the Memorial Hall. Now we approach Russell Moore, who basically said we're going to do an event to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the war, of the victory over global fascism. And of course, this is a Japanese aggression killer. You know, there's no place better than USS Hornet to have this event. And of course, without Betty, without Deborah, without Yawei, without Russell, you know, we have weekly meetings every week to call for this one. So we really appreciate that you all come. You know, Congressman David Lee is here. I also want to thank Congressman Judy Chow, who represents the district in California. I also want to thank Congresswoman Grace Monk, from New York. Both of them, we invited them to come, but they offered letters of greetings to this event. So finally, I want to end my remarks by conveying to you my personal story so you can better appreciate how important this relationship is. I mean the U.S.-China relationship. I am a descendant of World War II veterans. My dad, if he would have been around, he would be 103 years old. So he joined the military, the Chinese military, in 1939, when he was only 17. He never really talked about the war. So one thing he did talk about, he said, I don't care which part I was going to join as long as they were fighting against the Japanese. So he joined the communist guerrillas, not the nationalist forces. So that's the first part of his story, fighting against the Japanese. Sadly, after the Japanese were defeated, my dad was involved fighting against another half of the Chinese, which is very bad. And later, my dad went to Korea and stayed there until 1958. You know, he was there, of course, to engage the Americans. That's also very unfortunate. My dad and my mom, they have 5 children. 3 of them are in the Chinese military. 2 of us are here. And my nephew went to West Point. So we're a globalized family where, you know, Korean, we talk about Korean Americans, we're Chinese Americans. So we're here, like all of you here. You know, we're here to remember, we're here to honor, but we're here to look at the future, to do so there will be peace between the US and China. Thank you.